Ernest Hemingway, A Farewell to Arms, Chapter 2. The next year, there were many victories. The mountain that was beyond the valley and the hillside where the chestnut forest grew was captured, and there were victories beyond the plain on the plateau to the south. And we crossed the river in August and lived in a house in Goriza that had a fountain and many thick, shady trees in a walled garden, and a wisteria vine purple on the side of the house. Now the fighting was in the next mountains beyond and was not a mile away. The town was very nice, and our house was very fine. The river ran behind us, and the town had been captured very handsomely, but the mountains beyond it could not be taken, and I was very glad the Austrians seemed to want to come back to the town sometime if the war should end, because they did not bombard it to destroy it, but only a little in a military way. People lived on in it, and there were hospitals and cafes and artillery up side streets and two body houses, one for troops and one for officers. And with the end of the summer, the cool nights, the fighting in the mountains beyond the town, the shell marked iron of the railway bridge, the smashed tunnel by the river where the fighting had been, the trees around the square, and the long avenue of trees that led to the square. These, with there being girls in the town, the king passing in his motor car, sometimes now seeing his face and little long necked body and gray beard like a goat's chin tuft. All these with the sudden interiors of houses that had lost a wall through shelling, with plaster and rubble in their gardens and sometimes in the street. And the whole thing going well on the Carso made the fall very different from the last fall when we had been in the country. The war was changed too. The forest of oak trees on the mountain beyond the town was gone. The forest had been green in the summer when we had come into the town, but now there were the stumps and the broken trunks and the ground torn up. And one day at the end of the fall, when I was out where the oak forest had been, I saw a cloud coming over the mountain. It came very fast, and the sun went a dull yellow, and then everything was gray, and the sky was covered, and the cloud came on down the mountain, and suddenly we were in it, and it was snow. The snow slanted across the wind. The bare ground was covered. The stumps of trees projected. There was snow on the guns, and there were paths in the snow going back to the latrines behind trenches. Later, below in the town, I watched the snow falling, looking out of the window of the body house, the house for officers, where I sat with a friend and two glasses drinking a bottle of Asti, and looking out at the snow falling slowly and heavily. We knew it was all over for that year. Up the river, the mountains had not been taken. None of the mountains beyond the river had been taken. That was all left for next year. My friend saw the priest from our mess going by in the street, walking carefully in the slush and pounding on the window to attract his attention. The priest looked up. He saw us and smiled. My friend motioned for him to come in. The priest shook his head and went on. That night in the mess, after the spaghetti course, which everyone ate, very quickly and seriously, lifting the spaghetti on the fork until the loose strands hung clear, then lowering it into the mouth, or else using a continuous lift and sucking it into the mouth. Helping ourselves to wine from the grass covered gallon flask, it swung in a metal cradle, and you pulled the neck of the flask down with the forefinger, and the wine, clear red, tannic and lovely, poured out into the glass held with the same hand. After this course, the captain commenced picking on the priest. The priest was young and blushed easily, and wore a uniform like the rest of us, but with a cross in dark red velvet above the left breast pocket of his gray tunic. The captain spoke pidgin Italian for my doubtful benefit, in order that I might understand perfectly that nothing should be lost. Priest, today with girls, the captain said, looking at the priest and at me. The priest smiled and blushed and shook his head. This captain baited him often. Not true? Asked the captain. Today I see priest with girls. No, said the priest. The other officers were amused at the baiting. Priest not with girls, went on the captain. Priest never with girls, he explained to me. He took my glass and filled it, looking at my eyes all the time, but not losing sight of the priest. Priest every night, 5 against 1. Everyone at the table laughed. You understand? Priest every night, 5 against 1. He made a gesture and laughed loudly. The priest accepted it as a joke. The Pope wants the Austrians to win the war, the major said. He loves Franz Joseph. That's where the money comes from. I am an atheist. Did you ever read The Black Pig? Asked the lieutenant. I will give you a copy. It was that which shook my faith. It is a filthy, vile book, said the priest. You do not really like it. It is very valuable, said the lieutenant. It tells you about those priests. You will like it, he said to me. I smiled at the priest, and he smiled back across the candlelight. Don't you read it? He said. I will get it for you, said the lieutenant. All thinking men are atheists, the major said. I do not believe in the Freemasons, however. I believe in the Freemasons, the lieutenant said. It is a noble organization. Someone came in and the door opened, and as the door opened, I could see the snow falling. There will be no more offensive now that the snow has come, I said. Certainly not, said the major. You should go on leave. You should go to Rome, Naples, Sicily. He should visit Amalfi, said the lieutenant. I will write you a card to my family in Amalfi. They will love you like a son. He should go to Palermo. He ought to go to Capri. I would like you to see Abruzzi and visit my family at Capricata, said the priest. Listen to him talk about the Abruzzi. There's more snow there than here. He doesn't want to see peasants. Let him go to centers of culture and civilization. He should have fine girls. I will give you the addresses of places in Naples. Beautiful young girls, accompanied by their mothers. The captain spread his hand open, the thumb up and fingers outspread, as when you make shadow pictures. There was a shadow from his hand on the wall. He spoke again in pidgin Italian. You go away like this. He pointed to the thumb. And come back like this. He touched the little finger. Everyone laughed. Look, said the captain. He spread the hand again, and again the candlelight made its shadow on the wall. He stared with the He started with the upright thumb and named in their order the thumb and four fingers. Sotto tenente, the thumb. Tenente, first finger. Capitano, next finger. Maggiore, next to the little finger. For us, that would be ring. And tenente colonnello. Tenente colonnello. The little finger. Pinky. You go away, sotto tenente. You come back, sotto colonnello. They all laughed. The captain was having a great success with finger games. He looked at the priest and shouted, Every night, priest, 5 against 1. They all laughed again. You must go on leave at once, the major said. I would like to go with you and show you things, the lieutenant said. When you come back, bring a photograph. Bring good opera discs. Bring Caruso. Don't bring Caruso, he bellows. Don't you wish you could bellow like him? He bellows, I say he bellows. I would like you to go to Abruzzi, the priest said. The others were shouting. There was good hunting. You would like the people, and though it is cold, it is clear and dry. You could stay with my family. My father is a famous hunter. Come on, said the captain. We go whorehouse before it shuts. Good night, I said to the priest. Good night, he said.